You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dance. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
GRC Mafia. Now, first of all, Jeffrey, PBO is the king of struggle streaming, the absolute king. I have so many great examples for that. I'm positive PBO completely gets it. However, I think you are right. Good thing PBO typically doesn't pop in until later on in the stream. But if you guys are not familiar with PBO, definitely go check him out. I'm dropping his YouTube channel in chat there. He goes live every single Tuesday night. I believe it's 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's the late night show with PBO. And then we are here to break down barriers, foster collaboration and community, working towards a more secure future for everybody. Definitely a learning and growing environment. Now, what we're going to do here is we have cyber research in the backstage we'll transition over to here in a moment. And then he's going to talk to us a little bit about this, what I would consider a movement of go make a friend. And then throughout this, definitely ask questions, share resources. One of the best places to share your social media, or if you want to share any other resources, is going to be through our Discord server. So if you hop into our Discord server, then you can go into our live chat channel and drop links there. Like I said, whether that's your social media or resources throughout. We'll also mark any questions or pop them up on screen as we go through this. And then once, we get to, typically what we'll do is go through like a presentation or otherwise, discuss it, and then we'll open up the stage itself. We'll go ahead and play that by ear. We may open up the stage a little bit earlier tonight. Just don't share anything that you don't want to be public. If you happen to do so, reach out to me on Discord, LinkedIn, or contact at studygrc.org. And then I see everybody going through and grabbing that badge now. So tonight we do have the badge running. I don't know if I threw that in. Oh, welcome to the party, pal, Rania. Rhonda and Rhonda. Oh gosh, this is going to be really difficult tonight. We got Rothnir in here. We got AB, Cam, Brexy, Jeffrey, Brenda, Lock and Key, Jasmine, Josh, a couple other people. Bam. Bubba's grabbing his GRC Mafia badge. And to grab the GRC Mafia badge, what that does is you go to our live chat channel in Discord, you drop GRC Mafia in capital letters, just like it's shown on screen right there. And then you'll end up attaining the weekly GRC Mafia badge next to your name for the next week. Thursday nights are our primary session every single week. And so that unlocks a Badge Hunters channel and a Golden Finds channel as well. And then I will double check chat there, but I think that pretty much covers it. So also, we recently changed our format slightly. We're not really interested in any paid sponsorship in particular, but what we are doing instead is doing a no cost, ad rolls for other creators that are in the space, especially, that align with our mission. So we will be right back, and then I'll transition over to the primary stage here.
Do you love cybersecurity and GRC? Do you like analogies stretched further than my hairline? Then do I have a channel for you. Hi, my name is Cameron, also known as Cam, and I want to invite you to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel at CamGoddess, where I dive into various topics, frameworks, terms, and foundational knowledge within the broad categories of cybersecurity and GRC. I'm passionate about these things and about taking complex concepts and making them more easily understandable, more easily defined. Everyone is a nerd about something, so come, nerd, learn, and grow with me.
I absolutely love his entire intro there. All right, welcome to the Party Pal Cyber Research.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me okay? Sound okay? Is there any background noise? Sorry, we're kind of in the middle of moving. We closed on our house a week and a half ago, and that's why the sound and the video and everything's kind of it's subpar. So
hey, it's just like I mentioned at the beginning with PBO and so forth. Like, yeah. I started learning the live streaming aspect from the best struggle streamer in the first place. So as long as even if your audio cuts out, we'll let you know. I'll just hop on and call you a nerd.
that's okay. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, and then just let me know when you want me back up here.
That's it for the intro. Like, this is Cyber Research. That's it. Nothing. Okay.
Everybody already knows about you. I talk about you all the time.
That's fine. Well, thank you. So, yeah, I was asked. Chris asked me to talk about Go Make a Friend and what that means and how it started. It is a movement. It's sort of a movement. It's something that I've been not really working on, but been fostering and trying to foster. And I'm going to just start with a story about it. So this, Deadwood, Wild West Hacking Fest in Deadwood last October, was the first security conference that I'd ever been to. And I was nervous. I was scared. I was, worried about, connecting with people. And I was on 2 plane rides, and the second plane ride from Denver to Deadwood, I was talking with my wife, and she said, is there anyone that looks like you? I'm like, yeah, there's like 5 or 6 people on here. She's like, well, go make a friend. And so when I hung up on the phone, I turned over to the guy next to me, and I said, hey, I'm Luke. Are you going to Deadwood? And we just, from there, just connected. And I'm still connected with him today. He's become one of I call him my eternal friends, people that I've met at that conference. And that about hour and a half, almost 2-hour flight seemed like it was nothing. And we just connected. We just talked. There were silences, but there was a lot of connection there. After that, at the airport, I thought, let's keep this going. I wanted to keep this going. I wanted to meet more people. I wanted to say hi. And so on the bus ride from the airport, which is now unofficially or called BusCon, we were all riding on the bus from the airport, and I just said, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's play a game. Share your skill set, share your passion. And so because I wanted to learn more about people around me, and so that's what I did. As we started, I think I went first, and talked about how my passion at the time was red paint. Yes, I did find there was, yes, several of them had beards and bald heads. Not as gray as this one. Someone were a little more darker, but yes. Thank you for sharing that question or that up on the screen, because I can't see anything else. But it was we talked about that, and I shared that my passion at the time my passion was red team, and my skill set was blue team. Sorry, but my passion was chemistry. And so that was one thing I shared. I mean, I've always loved chemistry ever since I was a kid. I remember in it was 4th grade, our teacher, we'd had little chemistry sets, and I was just enthralled with them. So, I mean, that's my passion. And then one of another guy in the group, he said, I think he said his skill set. I can't remember what he said his skill set was, but he said his passion was his kids and his family. And all of us are like, oh man, all right, that's our new passion. So, and there was about 10 of us. By the end of it, people had gathered around from the very like several rows away and just like kind of congregated and just, and so that would became BusCon, and it was a really special experience for me. The start of a really special experience for me. Um, once I got to Deadwood, went through training, and I said hi to everybody. I said hi, my name's Luke, and just talked with everybody. Wanted to introduce myself, say hi, and it all goes back to my wife telling me go make a friend. She sorry about a year before that, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to connect with people like I did. So about December the year before, a little bit of background is I started an addiction recovery program, and part of the program is to connect with others. I'd say go make friends, but just to connect with people, because you have to overcome the key to overcoming addiction is connection. Isolation is the worst thing that you can ever do, and that's what I did for a really, really long time. I had isolated myself. I pulled back. I'd been trying. My justification was I wanted to be the cybersecurity gray man. I wanted to be the guy hidden behind the scenes, doing all the things, and no one knows who I am. And it was really, really lonely. And but if I hadn't gone through that experience for that whole year before, I wouldn't have been found so much joy connecting and talking with others. There'd be times I'd be walking from the hotel, walking from the hotel to the conference center, and just crying in joy for the friends that I'd made and the connections I had created. And it wasn't and again, it all goes back to my wife just telling me, go make a friend. Um, the first day, the first day, not even of the conference, of the trainings, I had connected with somebody there who had actually given me, I'm not going to share names, but I just said, hi, is there anything I can do to help? I'd love to help. And, went through, about an hour later, she's like, here, Luke, here's a coin. And she's like, no one gets these, but people who get awards. So he's like, you better. I'm like, oh, I feel so lucky, so privileged to have gotten that coin. And it was, it was just kind of her giving back to me, from the joy that from the giving back to me, because I was trying to give back to others. Kiki and Jasmine, yes, get out of your skin, say hi. I mean, there's a lot of people are there that's going to be like, you say you're nervous. Yeah, it's nervous. It's nervous meeting new people, especially as adults. But my suggestion is, who cares what they think? I mean, these people are you? If you want to, you can never see them again. But what'll happen is if you just go and say, hi, my name is Kiki, my name is Jasmine, my name is Luke. Just as people you're passing by, a lot of times I would just sit there. If I was walking, it was kind of hard, but if I was waiting in line or I was sitting down or there was an idle moment, there wasn't a single person that stood next to me that I didn't say hi to. And it really was because I gained so much joy and connection from others. This And there were a lot of times when there were people who were quiet and just saying hi. This You could see how it brightened their day. You could see the smile that it brought to them because they were there. They were alone. They were nervous. They were having a hard. We're all think about it, we're all introverts, people who go to these. Well, most of, I can say 95% of the people who go to these conferences are introverts and want to learn, but also want to connect. And a big part of that conference is that community that's been fostered um, by Black Hills and by Wild West Hacking Fest and the presenters. So sorry if I'm sniffing. And the conference for me was life changing. It was a part of my life changing in the fact that I made connected, and I'm gonna say connected. I connected with so many people. There were people that a year ago, 2 years ago, a year before, 2, 3 years before, I probably never would have talked to, just because I'm gonna go lie, just because of the way they looked. But because I was determined to make friends, to say hi to people, and just didn't forget, you know, doesn't matter what they look like, who they are. I just wanted to connect. And so I hate to say I was that kind of guy in the past. I mean, my prejudices and uh, anyway, it was such an incredible feeling to just connect with people, especially those who are just don't have the same philosophies of life that I do. Because we could come together, we could learn, we could grow. Um, as I've been kind of thinking about this and this experience, I've tried to uh, take it from what it was, just me saying hi and go make a friend, and I tried to apply it in elsewhere in my life, whether it's at home or work or other communities. An example is I'm a religious guy, so I go to um, church. Yes, Rothner. Yeah, it's so easy to say hi. It's easy to not say hi, but it's kind of miserable. I mean, I've been miserable when I haven't said hi to anybody. I've gone places, and it's just, and that's not what these conferences are for. Like, if you look at a lot of people who I've talked with or interacted with, message with about DEF CON, like the best part of the entire thing was the people, connecting with people. I mean, yeah, the presentations are great, the knowledge that they learn is great, but it's the people. And I think that the cybersecurity industry as a whole is, in the IT realm, is very unique. We want to share ideas. We want to build and bring each other up. We're not hoarding our data. We're not hoarding our information. We're not siloed. We want other people to know, because we're all in this together, really, to fight against those bad guys who are attacking us and attacking our friends. And yeah, just to kind of like talk about again how can I learn, what I've learned there, and how can I apply elsewhere is, um, I've been isolated myself for so long that it just felt so good to get out and to say hi. I mean, there's my wife, when I went home and told her all about it, she had said, "That's the guy that I married." Um, and she was just blown away about, I shared with her like some people that I've met, and she's like, "Just, this is the guy that I married. I miss him." I remember not to dwell on high school, but I was in high school. I knew everybody. I would say hi to everybody, and I would connect with others. There were some hard times in my life at the time, but I look back and think I had so much joy when I was just talking and interacting with others. Honestly, I miss being in the office. I work from home full time right now, and it is lonely. And a big part of one of the communities that we've created and started, and with Study GRC and other Discord channels, is the connections that I want to continue as we go throughout life. And just talking with people in person brings me so much joy. And there's times when I'll be quiet because I may not have anything to say. Um, but one thing I wanted to take this is, like, how can we apply this, in life? If we talk about work and networking, I mean, one of the best ways to improve your career or improve your situation is to network with others. And you really can't network if you don't open your mouth, if you don't say hi, if you don't go make a friend. In a couple of weeks, I'm actually really nervous about it, but I don't know why. I'm one of the vendors for the security products for my company. Like they're going to be in the Dallas Fort DFW area, and we're going to go out to dinner. And I'm like thinking, what am I going to talk to them about? Because I'm nervous, but it's like it doesn't matter, and let's just talk shop. And if there's a weird, awkward silence, who cares? Um, it's fine. But it's the connecting, it's the interacting, it's the being there with others. Um, sorry, but I just want to share my story about that and kind of a little bit about what Go Make a Friend was or is. It's really just connecting with people, and I owe it all to my wife. I mean, she's the one that told me, said, Luke, is there anybody that looks like you? Yeah, well, go make a friend. And I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to talk about it. Thank you, Study GRC, for this opportunity. I know it's sort of GRC related, but it's that networking, the interaction, the making friends, the talking with people. One thing I'll say is that if there's other times in your job that you struggle to figure out what you're doing, the best thing you can do is go ask somebody. Say, hey, you know what? I heard you're really good at this, and I need some guidance. I need some help. But you can't do that if you don't know who they are. So just go over, find out who's the expert on whatever that program, that application, that tool, whatever it is, and say, hey, you know what? I'd love to learn more about this. I'd love your guidance and help. My name is Luke. I've heard you're the go-to guy for this. I'd like some guidance. I mean, that's it's very easy and very simple. And I'm going to say the old cliche is, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. It's true. Just being a good person, and making friends. That's what this life's about. And that's the end of my spiel. Let's Chris, did you want to come back on
Yeah, you're
and
supposed to end that with, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah,
what TED Talk?
well, and the main reason why it's great to have you come up and talk about this is because everybody goes through these issues, especially
Yeah.
nervousness attending conferences or talking with people and so forth. I mean, 2 years ago, I wasn't, as social as I am these days. But it does become a little bit easier. But also, it's important to also mention that everybody struggles with that too.
Yeah, that's a good
Big
point.
names, key speakers, people who have attended 20 conferences over the last 5 years, they all still struggle with that. So
Yeah.
one of the big things I want people to take away from this is advocate for such. Go make a friend. It makes it so much easier when there's more people doing it, because
Hmm.
two of you guys go make a friend headed to a conference with that mindset makes it way easier when you guys do connect. So
Well, and
um,
that's actually interesting that you said that. Is that on the bus? One of the guys, he's like, dude, Luke, I wouldn't have said hi to anybody if you hadn't said hi to me.
mhm.
And we just like, I mean, still, I consider him one of my, like, I'm gonna say, eternal friends that we met on BusCon. And he's just like, he said, you made this experience so much better than anything I ever could have had. And I'm not tooting my own horn. Like, it brought me joy that he was doing. He's like, I'm just trying to be like you. And I
Yeah.
said, I'm just trying to say hi to everybody. And I mean, I remember there'd be times we'd be standing there and be like, hey, Josh, do you know so and so? And they've actually known each other for like 10 years. I didn't know that. I was just wanting to interact and connect and just
Yeah.
build that community.
Well, and
So
also, like you said, it's very unique to the industry itself as well, because people in the IT infosec communities are very well known for not only mental health issues, but then also isolation. You're working
mhm,
behind your computer all day, or you might have a small team or otherwise, especially the work from home, even more popularized after, from the whole COVID situation and so forth.
mhm.
Like I've talked to multiple different people who are like, man, I just, I was in a rut and everything else. And, I didn't have any friends. Like I would just sign in, do my job and go home. And that was my life for years. And, I decided to go to a conference and now I have, so many people messaging me all the time.
Hmm.
And like, it's very difficult to also put it in language, but conferences are on a completely different level. Like it's extremely draining, but um, like it's literally life changing. It's very hard to put into words and explain that, but a lot of people say the exact same thing. Where you leave a conference with a completely different mindset after you've talked to so many different people. You
Hmm.
already obtained all kinds of information, um, and people literally come from around the world for different conferences. So
Yeah.
that was like one of the big things for me with Wild West, which was my first conference at all. And there were people flying in from Germany and other parts of
Hmm.
the EU and Africa and all over the place. Um, and we were just, chit chatting, just like people. And I think that's even more important nowadays too, which is another reason why it's great to have you up here as well, is because in a world where we're so digitally connected, we really need to hold on to that humanity aspect, that people to
Hmm.
people connection.
You're right, and there's a special connection there when you talk to somebody in person, when you interact with them. I mean, it's you're completely right. It's special, and I'll be honest that like Wild West last year was the first conference I'd ever been to, and it has ruined me for every other conference. I feel I've been to another one in Denver, but I meant to go to DEF CON this last week, but just time and money didn't sync up, and
Yeah, if you
yeah.
go to Wild West Deadwood as your first conference, every other conference is just not going to be at the same level. It just
Yeah,
won't.
well, and again, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am going to a little bit. Is like I was told by a lot of the organizers that like Luke, you made this special, and I told him I said, well, thank my wife because I was just doing what she told me to do. So,
Well,
um,
and I think, yeah, I mean, I think what it really comes down to is that it resonates with so many different people because other people
mhm,
share the same thing. They just didn't have a name for it. They're like, yeah,
yeah,
I felt isolated. I wanted to make friends. It's nervousness and imposter syndrome and so forth. And then you
hmm,
come in promoting such, talking to people. I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit crazy. You should probably be wearing a tinfoil hat at times, but you were
yeah,
able to, break people out of their shells as well, which is why they arrived. Like I
yeah,
personally seen that happen last year where, people were uncomfortable and you were just walk up to them and just be a person and be like, hey, what do you do? And, they knew nobody there, and it makes a huge difference. So
yeah.
it's definitely something that all of us should be not only aware of, but then also promote this as well. This is where fostering collaboration and community comes in. So
Yeah, and you're right. There are people that aren't going to say hi. They're going to be quiet, but they're just waiting for someone to say hi to them. I mean, there was somebody I actually heard about somebody who left and left a I think I left a they left a comment somewhere saying, they didn't talk to a single person and they went home just lonely. And my heart ached because I'm like, where was this guy? Because I felt bad because that's not what I want to see. I want to see people having joy, being happy, interacting. And you're right. Like there's so many people that I talked with that their knowledge level is just so far above mine that I'm like, why am I talking to this person? Like this guy is like I'm in fanboy overload inside, but outside I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And so it was I even texted my wife that first day I got there. I just met so many people that I had seen and watched, on either through webinars, webcasts, on YouTube, their trainings. Um, it's I don't know where I was going with all that, but it's good to connect. And your lights are going crazy. You doing okay, Chris?
Yeah, just keep
Study
talking.
GRC. But yeah, there was one night. It was actually I can't think. It was on the wedding when John Hammond was sitting by himself at a table, and I'm like, you know what? He's by himself. Let's go. Chris is like trying to kill him again. He's trying to give us seizures, I think is what's happening. I said, I'm just gonna go say hi. He looks lonely, but I know he knows everybody. But it was funny. Like I convinced him to move to another table to get closer to where the wedding ceremony was occurring with his really good friends. And it's just, um, it was funny. And I met, there was other people that I met that sat at that table that I just were incredibly humble. And these are like the titans, what I consider the titans of the industry. It was really fun and for me to interact with them, and like I said, people that I had seen and watched for years.
Well, and that's also
Right
where
back at you, Abe.
yeah, that's also where is it that in reference to this one here? The virtual hug.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a hugger, so if
Yeah,
we ever
it's a
meet at a
completely different
conference, you're gonna get a big ol' hug.
yeah, it's a completely different level face to face. And so like even what we do every single week, like this is just a fill in. It's just I live in rural North Dakota. Like I have no I literally have to drive 6 hours for the nearest conference.
Yeah.
ISC squared is the closest thing to me, and they have a meetup once a month, but it's 6 hours each way. That's literally the closest thing to me. It's almost the same drive time to Deadwood. So
Yeah.
like but yeah, it's a completely different experience in person. And yeah, I mean that's the big thing is just do it. But then also like you were saying is like these influencers, we could say, uh it's very fascinating to be able to go to a conference and talk to people that you see on YouTube, that you see in the
Hmm.
communities, like in Black Hills, in Anti-Siphon, and then see the actual person behind them.
Hmm.
Like you only get part of somebody or so much in a video or in a live chat. Like
Yeah.
it's completely different when you're at the bar, knocking shots with them. What
And
happens in
and
Deadwood stays in Deadwood.
yeah, I think I slept a total maybe 10 hours that entire week.
Man, you beat
Yeah,
me.
yeah, that was. Yeah, it was like every night, maybe 2 to 3 hours, be up until like 2, back up at 5, I think, 5 or 6 to get to wherever I was going to next. It was just so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed every part of it, and that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to foster. What I wanted to build, and go make a friend. It's I think I even own the domain yet, but I haven't done anything with it yet. Um, but it's
I mean, like
just
I said,
connect.
you've already created a movement. Like I've met people at conferences who have mentioned go meet a friend to me, and I'm like, cyber research, and they're like, cyber research, and then that's how we end up breaking the ice. Because then I'm like, yeah,
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's awesome. Like that's really awesome. And that's
I mean,
that's really what I want it to be. Is I want it's there's so much negativity and anger and frustrations and resentment. I mean, we have to come together like that. We have to look for the good in others and
yeah,
work together. And again, going back to that's what cyber. I think that's what's so unique about cybersecurity itself is we're not here to fight against each other. Even the red team, the red team is in to help, defend the the company, the environment, the network.
I am
Go ahead.
extremely surprised you didn't say even GRC.
We'll see. No, no, no.
The amount of hate
GRS.
at conferences.
No, no. GRC is there as well. There. It's it's a good problem to have. Is when you
Oh
have the GRC
gosh.
folks come in and say, you know what, you got to fix this. I'm like, okay, let's go and implement this control to make sure we meet these requirements. And it's to protect us. The same thing is like we're working together to fight against the bad actors who are attacking.
Yeah, and then did you want to respond to this question in particular?
There's literally north. I don't get many calls with you. You can always make time for face-to-face interactions. Um, there's, and I'm going to use Black Hills as an example because there's lots of opportunities. They provide lots of opportunities for live webcasts, and even after, they provide AMAs after the calls. Um, and so that's one way to do it, is to interact, to turn on your camera and ask a question. I mean, I remember the first couple of times I was in an AMA and everybody was able to raise their hand and say hi and ask their question. I was so nervous because I never met these people, but they are so welcoming. And I think that's what Black Hills has fostered through everything they've done is welcoming, or they try to be. I'm not saying everybody's perfect, but they really try to be welcoming, and then building the community. That's one way. Is join these. You're right. There is the difficult time, or difficult to get to conferences, in-person conferences. Um, I mean, one way is you can, I guess, to start your own. I'm sure there's like-minded people around you. I mean, even where I'm at, I've had plans to start a little like a community computer club, and just trying to bring people together to learn more about computers as a whole. Because where I'm at, I'm kind of rural, and there's not a lot of people who do cybersecurity like I do. There's not a lot of people who are in IT altogether, and so I think it'd be fun to do that. I don't honestly. I mean, this question's always a difficult one. It's because you really have to make time to get the face-to-face interactions, and find a way. Um,
What I've
I don't.
seen is like
Yeah.
either try to find like regular meetups if you're near a larger
Hmm.
city, especially like there's bound to be something out there. But then even if you are more rural, like I am, that's the benefits of being in the golden age. Like that was Jerry's
Hmm.
keynote last year. Was we're in the digital age of technology here. We have so much accessible at our fingertips, and that's also like what I see with like Black Hills in particular is their discords are active year round. Like not only like I would try to definitely get to at least a conference every single year. It is expensive. Like there's no way around
Hmm.
it. Like
Hmm.
every conference is expensive. You got the tickets, you got the hotel, you got expenses on the way there, on site, coming back. Like it's not cheap. Um, but at least trying to do one conference a year that you, even if you have to travel,
Yeah.
and then you can keep in contact with all of these people. Like Black
Well,
Hills and these other organizations have streams all the time and have community on Discord.
yeah, but that's a great question, Cam, and I know that's one that. And honestly, I don't know if I had solid recommendations, other than you have to make time. You have to take that step to do it. I had the chance to go, I think, to the last DerbyCon, and also to probably the second Wild West Hacking Fest. But I was just like, you know what? I don't have time. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go. I'm nervous. But once I did, I mean, it's life changing that you really. I've made goals to make it to certain conferences, and if I make those goals, and I'm going to say goal making, write them down. I think there's a whole thing dealing with goals. You write them down, you're going to find ways to achieve them. If they're just in the back of your mind, you're going to find excuses not to.
Yeah, and like people get nervous about it, including me and so forth. Like I
Hmm.
don't like you register for a conference, you're excited about it and everything else, but still, like until you get on site, like it is nerve wracking. You're like, man, what am I gonna say to this cyber research guy when I get there?
Just say hi. Ask for a
Yeah,
hug. I'll give you a hug. I'm fine. Um,
but
one
people
thing.
are
One thing.
people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I'll come find you. I'll try and come find you and say hi. Like if we're in line together, if I don't say hi to you, hit me or something. I don't know. I may be having a bad day at the time, but I don't. I don't think. think so. But I just
And David also says, I want to go so bad. Someone please talk my boss and my wife, my other boss, into letting me go and to pay for it. And so I did respond to that and state that Study GRC can provide a one-page notice of paid travel.
so talking about costs is one thing that you can try and do is try and volunteer. There's lots of, I think someone posted the meetup site, not the meetup site, but the
InfoSec map.
the InfoSec maps. Yeah, that's one. Meetup.com is also one if you search for like security or cybersecurity. And not even that, like there's Linux groups that are meeting all over the place. There's, just
Nerds.
computer nerds in general are meeting for all sorts of things. And I look back and kind of wish I would have gone to some, especially when I was back in Arizona, when I was living there. Like there were some that was just down the road, but again, I was for me personally, I was not in the right mindset. I would have gone. I would have been quiet. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just sat there waiting for people to talk to me. And I know it's hard, and I know it's hard. But once you say, hi, my name's Luke, not Luke, but whatever your name is, obviously, you can say my name is Luke, and then maybe make it into a joke or a drinking game. That would be fun. But yeah, just say hi. My name is whatever. Good to meet you. And if they don't, it's hard. It's easier said than done. I know. Getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Well, and I think another aspect that a lot of people struggle with is, the imposter syndrome aspect, especially people that are trying to break in or they're junior level. They also worry, even when they're on site, about saying something stupid or not knowing a conversation or otherwise. The majority of my time at conferences had literally been sitting there eavesdropping on a conversation, just like nodding my head, trying to understand bits and pieces, and then asking clarifying questions like, could you take a step back? I don't understand this.
And you're right. And I'm sure that those people have been willing and excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue at all. People like to talk about their addictions.
Yes, yeah. Well, and it's even then, it's like they like to talk about, like, get to the point, like they're excited about the information that they're sharing. And if you say, hey, wait, hold on, can you explain that a little further? They'll go into it. I mean,
yeah.
You know me, like you've talked with me enough to where if there's a topic that I'm excited about, I'll just go off on it.
I mean, I got you on a stream to talk about it.
Yeah, obviously. And I'll say I think there's maybe been I've been in cybersecurity actually in a security role. I guess it's been almost 10 years now. There's been 2 people out of all those 10 years who have actually been kind of a-holes that I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but the majority, 99, probably almost 99.99% of people that you meet and interact with in cybersecurity itself are there to help, are willing to talk and guide you. And to me, there's no stupid question. There's no silly question. There isn't. Ask it.
One of the big things that you also notice when you start going to conferences and meeting people and talking and so forth is just how niche the industry really is. Everybody knows everybody. Like you end up becoming second connections to everybody across the field. And yeah, it's extremely true. Every single thing is going to have bad apples. Every industry, everything, it's going to occur, but it is far and few between, way outweighed. So yeah, but that's also where the community aspect and having people to talk to and everything comes in too. Because that's also like what I gained by going to the conferences. I had already been talking to many of these people on Discord for a year, but then I expanded the amount of people that I even knew, and then also had people to reach out to. So, now, if I have a question about a particular thing, then I probably know somebody who does that. Like one of the different people like I met in Denver, for an example, they're like really heavy with like CTI, with cyber threat intelligence, and they have like a partial GRC role that they also do at their organization. And like that we were literally just like waiting, and I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And next thing I know, we're talking for the next hour and a half. Like, yeah,
That's
but
that's the way. This is the way.
yeah, exactly. And so now I also have that individual that I could reach out to later on and be like, "Hey, I don't understand what this means," or "Hey, I remember you mentioned this tool," like, um, and so forth, or literally just for coffee meetups. That's something else that I've also tried to do personally, and I recommend everybody else to do it too. Is don't just let it end at the conference. Stay connected. You know,
Hmm.
you could go through and every couple months even be like, hey, could we hop on a 30-minute coffee virtual meeting, just to catch up, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So makes a big difference. Then you also don't feel as isolated.
Yeah. No, it's true, and that's there's a weekly like catch up call that I try and be a part of every week with a lot of those people that I met at Wild West Hacking Fest. Um, a lot of like recently work has gotten in the way because today there was a incident I had to handle. So, but the whole reason is to keep that connection. I mean, there's so many of these Discord servers that have these weekly voice chats, and really that's where I think you're going to make a lot of those connections before you see them in person. There was a it's I remember seeing, who was it? Can't remember. I remember seeing somebody like just going up and giving the biggest hug to one of their friends. I'm like, do you know him? Like, not in person. This is the first time I've met him, and it was like so he just gave a big old hug because they've been talking for like a year, 2 years through the Discord chats, whatever, and just interacting online. And it was just so great to see them, connecting like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's way more common than I think people realize.
Hmm.
And it makes it that much better because it also, like, what I realized going to my first conference last year with Wild West is it really like solidifies the relationship itself, because it's one thing to talk to people for over a year on Discord like I did,
Hmm.
but then when you actually meet them face to face and talk with them and socialize in person, that's why the in-person connection is so important. If
Hmm.
I mean, like, I've mentioned it before, like I'm looking at relocating to a major city just for the in-person meetups, because I mean, virtual is great as a fill-in, but like the face-to-face is a completely different level.
Yeah, those are super important. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Rania over here that goes around as the Study GRC PR. That's what happened at Deadwood last year. But yeah, I think the big moral of this is the go make a friend movement, as I'm calling it.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, everybody struggles with it. It really it sucks, but I also think that's like part of the human nature aspect too. We're always
Hmm.
like more critical on ourselves than anything.
Yeah, something's in the way.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like Ranya's mentioning. Yeah, like Ranya was like introducing me to people because I didn't want to. I'm absolutely horrible at introducing myself and networking and marketing myself. And I mean, I think I'm better after you. I don't know. It gets easier over time, but it still doesn't become. It just still doesn't go away. Like, it's still
Hmm.
uncomfortable to, like, even at a conference, to run up to some random stranger that's sitting in the corner alone.
Yeah.
Initially, but you just do it. And I mean, like, nobody's ever been like, hey, leave me alone, weirdo. Like, not yet. Maybe they thought
No.
that.
Not to my face. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you're going to Deadwood, right, Chris?
I don't think so. Not this year.
I guess I'll have to do it alone.
Oh gosh.
Is it going to be like Denver? And you're like, wait a minute, I got. let me grab a
We'll see.
ticket.
We'll
that
see.
was that was the best. That was fun.
We'll
You
see.
just yeah.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
what happened with Denver? So Wild West had their first Denver conference. What is it? Mile High.
Mile High.
And so I think it's probably going to be around February of every year in Denver, and they're doing it again this next year. But so I attended my first cybersecurity conference, Wild West, in October of 24, and then come February, I was like, no, it's expensive to go to conferences and so forth, and like I was still also like just trying to like adjust after the conference itself, because it was like 4 days of like constant interaction, the lack of sleep. Like it takes a couple weeks just to start leveling back out too. And like I think Zach just posted about that the other day. I think it was Zach who posted on LinkedIn about how there's like post depression aspects to conferences even because of DEF CON.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was funny. I get a text message. It was like, I got my tickets. I'm driving to the airport. And it was like, really? And it's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll come pick you up when you get there.
Yeah, I wasn't
I was
planning
like,
to attend, but then like B-dubs and a bunch of other people were there. And then like I think Christina Palika, like everyone was like posting about it on LinkedIn, and I had absolute horrible FOMO. And then I made the mistake of just like looking up the plane ticket. And when I looked it up, it's like, oh, plane leaves in 2 hours and 30 minutes for, $300 round trip. I mean, I'm like $300 round trip from North Dakota to Denver.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I have to.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, because I was expecting it to be like $600, $800, $900, especially that short notice. And I was on a plane 2 hours later.
Yeah. And you had a place to stay, to crash. So
yeah,
I'm glad you made it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a great experience. And also like Jack Scott presented. That was a huge hallmark for me at Denver as well. It was a nice little town. Christoph with Cyber, like I've mentioned him before. He lives right there. He's outside of Denver, and so like he didn't go to the conference, but I was able to meet up with him while I was out there as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So that was another connection of mine that I made 2 years ago when I started moving towards all of this stuff, and just made friends with him because I was asking so many questions. And I was finally able to meet him in person too.
Yeah, I think I had interactions with him online. He's such a stand-up kind guy. Like he's there's been because I did some trainings with him probably a couple of years ago, and just he answered every question. It was just a really good, nice guy. So I'm glad you got to meet him and work with him. I mean, there's things that you're doing with him and their platform too, right?
Yeah. That's one of the different servers that I've like been a moderator in for a little while now too. And then also like the Payne mentions such an expensive con for South Dakota.
Yeah.
It is true. Like that it is unfortunate. Like conferences aren't cheap. It's just not. Which is also why like I'm probably going to stick to like 1 or 2 a year. Because it's not, and then also people have to like schedule time off and so forth too. So like people plot this stuff out a year ahead of time. From what I've seen with some of the other ones though, like I will probably never attend DEF CON because of the expensive price point. Like we're talking thousands of dollars, several $1,000s minimum. So I don't think I could go to 3 other conferences for that price.
Yeah. I think I'd want to go at least just once, and because there was a while I wanted to go, but I didn't know anybody that was going. But there's so many people I know now that I'm like, okay, I want to go once to experience it, see how it is. But I mean, again, it's I don't know if it's the conference itself, but it's the community and the connections that people made.
Yeah, and then we got B-Dubs and Rania and David B over here giving me trouble about my lights screwing up. Yeah, one of my 2 lights, the battery ended up dying, and then I'm over here trying to figure out all of the controls in the dark. Like that's what was going on with the lighting. That's why one side's dimmer. So
I thought you were trying to just give us all, some epileptic seizures or something, Chris.
I was trying to get the light to work.
That's what I
and the
thought.
next thing I know, it's trying to blind me. It's a really good thing.
Hi,
I'm not
Luke. I'm
epileptic.
David. Nice to meet you, bud. How are you?
Hey, David, I was just going to ask. I don't think we've met in person. I think I've seen you online. So good to meet you, David.
Yeah, no, you too. You as well. Yeah, I really loved your. It was short and sweet and right to the point. And I was like, man, I wonder. I bet you, Luke and myself and a couple others, we could just stand in front of a crowd at a conference, maybe right after the presentation's over, and say, "Hi, I am so and so. Would you like to talk?" And people might look at us like, those guys are crazy. But even if you get one person, just come say hi, just shoot the breeze, right? That's all that matters. Is just chatting it up.
Yeah, you get one person, you're like, hey, come here. I know. Have you met this guy before?
Yeah.
That's. I think there was so many times that I did that, and like I said, a lot of times they already knew each other, but they thought it was kind of funny, and they enjoyed it being able to just, who is this guy introducing? Like, they don't know me. They don't like, hey, you know this guy? Come here, meet this. Yeah. Oh, I totally can see it happening.
Yeah, and like one great example of that too is like when we were in Deadwood last year, we were going through doing the Stampede. What was it called? Like I forget what.
It's this not
Saloon?
supporters thing. Yeah,
Saloon
I know what you're talking about. My brain it's
Yeah, so like they had a special event at the after hours at the conference. So one of the nights you would go around and get stamps from all the different vendors, I'm gonna say, all of the different places in downtown in Deadwood, and you go through, you complete a challenge or whatever, and then you get a stamp on your stamp card to like enter into a drawing kind of thing. And like Cyber Satyr, like you guys have seen him in chat. He's in the Discord community for Study GRC as well. And like literally, we were just walking around downtown, and then he's like standing outside of one of the places, and we just started chit chatting with him. And we're like, oh yeah, Study GRC, like we stream on Thursday nights, like what do you do? Like we just started small talking and everything else, and then kind of ran around for a little bit together. And now he's popping into the community and so forth. And it's just another one of those go make a friend. I think he knew a couple different people on site, but at the time, like he was just standing there kind of lost, it seemed. So
yeah. Well, there was one guy that he was quiet most of the time, and I'd seen him, I said hi, and he ended up being, I think, one of the first ones, if not the first one, but he ended up getting the social engineering challenge with the phone call. And he was the first of like our little group that went through it, and I was blown away with just how much he'd opened up and started interacting. But he was quiet pretty much almost all week. I don't want to say his name online. I can't think of his handle,
fine.
But I don't want to. Yeah, it's just because I don't know if he wants that. But.
Yeah, anti-doxing.
Yeah. What?
All these sketchy hackers.
Yeah.
Put the
Well,
disclaimer up, Chris. Put the disclaimer up.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that there's a lot of people that you never know who they are, obviously, right? And then, later on you find out, oh my God, that was Jason Haddix. Like I sat down, I don't know if y'all know who Jason Haddix is. I have assumptions you probably do. And I went, me and Josh Mason were going to the first Hack Space Con and sat down at the bar. I think Josh knew who it was, but he didn't tell me. I'm just sitting there having a conversation with a fella who's also going to the conference. Had no clue who he was, hadn't seen any of his stuff yet, didn't know him from Adam. And we just shot the breeze, and his buddy, we were just talking shit all night. And then he says his name and who he worked for at that time and what he was doing. I was like, oh, heck yeah, man. He never once touted who he was. He's been he never was one of those precocious assholes. He was just genuine, and that's what I really love about this community. I mean, Kevin Napolitani, I mess up his name every time. I just call him Kevin Apollo, and he just laughs with me. But and David, there's the other David. There's another David out there in the LinkedIn world. But just that we're just sitting there shooting the breeze, and it's just so cool to just.
God.
What?
I just realized something. We got Team Luke and now we got Team David. Because look at all the... if you guys are unfamiliar, we also have Coffee with the Mafia, which is a free, no-cost, one-on-one like coaching. So if you guys need any help with road mapping, you want resume review, mock interviewing, things like that, you can go through on this page that's going in chat. And we have 8 different volunteers, and you just get randomly selected based on availability. And I think we have like 3 Davids in that out of the 8 volunteers. So I just
you do need a Team David.
Yeah, now there's a Team David and a Team Luke.
It's on. It's on.
Yeah.
Now this guy, Luke, I was at the conference. I saw him probably almost a lot of places. He intimidated the crud out of me.
Oh no, I get it.
And
he is a sketchy individual.
No,
I've seen
not at all. That's the
SUV
thing.
driving by my house, sitting down a block. You know, just ever since I met this guy.
Yeah, but I love Luke, man. Yeah.
Let's see. Also, don't forget to grab the weekly badge if you guys haven't done so already. And then
I always
Evan also mentions Kevin is good peeps. I met so many people at Wild West 24 who are super humble and approachable. I mean, that was my first conference, and it was very overwhelming. Like, I was fortunate enough to know some people, so like I already had it planned out ahead of time. Like, hey, we're gonna go meet up downtown. So like I wasn't just like stumbling around on my own per se, so it made it a little bit easier. But that's also like the other benefit. If you guys are going to a conference, drop it in chat and, you know, line up something.
Yeah, 100%. That was going to be my first talk. I actually did the talk. It was about Wireshark. I was supposed to be there live, and then that Hurricane Milton screwed all that up, so I didn't get to go. So I did it virtually from my desk, which, I mean, you know, always be prepared is the motto, and I did my best to do that. And then, of course, you know, you don't know when the weather's going to get bad. We had so many tornado warnings here in South Florida. It was crazy. And, you know, just I didn't know if I was going to have to dodge bullets or dodge, you know, hecklers, but I didn't care. You know, I just said, look, here's my presentation. I'm going to do my best. And it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best in the world. It wasn't that polished, but it just gave me that opportunity to at least address some people that I couldn't see physically, which I wish I could have. But, you know, that gives me another goal. And I think, you know, kind of like a job interview or even trying to go date a girl or a guy or whatever, right? Just going up and breaking that ice, you know, first things first, like the conference. If you show up to the conference, well, hey, that's a first step. If you were scared to even show up, you made it there. That's great. It's just like some of the other things you were saying, dealing with addiction is acknowledging you have a problem. I'm not trying to tie them both in the same light, but really, you know what I mean? Like, you have to become self-aware. And once you become self-aware, then you can change it, whatever it is. And so that's kind of the tie-in I was trying to say. So, but big shout out to you, Luke, for doing, you know, making yourself, getting better and realizing that there was a problem and getting better. There's a lot of folks that I've met, like I did. Oh, there we go.
Is that me?
But anyways, there was a gentleman that I met not too long ago, and I thought he was on the right track. Didn't know he had demons in his closet, but he never talked about it. And then all of a sudden, you see his wife's post after the fact, and I was like, man. And I talked to this guy too. I thought all was good, but you know, that you don't always have to open up about everything in life. But you know, hopefully you find a connection that you can share those with, and hopefully it's your partner if you have one. But if not, then, you know, there's different people around that'll listen. Some of them get paid a lot of money to listen.
Anyway, just do the coffee with the mafia and just talk to.
Yeah, I was trying to get there, Chris. I was slowly tying it back around.
Therapy session.
But I need a disclaimer, though. I need a disclaimer as soon as anything that you do say. No.
Sounds like very not any form.
There it is.
Legal or what's the not just legal advice, but medical or
financial,
professional
financial
advice.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh gosh, I need to further expand this now. What are you gonna do? Be like PBO or B Dubs trying to push a B Dubs coin?
Yeah, I'm gonna start talking about crypto. You know. Hey, call it the "you need a friend" coin, right? We could. How do we shorten it?
yeah.
You need a friend. YNAF. The YUNAF. The YANF. See, it kind of sounds like it's Middle Eastern or over there in the.
No, it's GMAF. Go make a friend.
Okay, there it is. Thank you. There it is.
GMAF.
Lawyer,
I
but,
the coin designed. Like I was.
Yeah, and like Luke says, it sounds like we need a billboard lawyer, but we're in the budget of a Fiverr lawyer.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody has an accident, Luke. That's that's what those billboard lawyers are good for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for hopping in, AB.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to AB because every time, no matter whatever the chat we're in, he's always reaching out. Hey, Luke, good to see you. Every single time. Talk about a person who's the epitome of go make a friend. He says hi to everybody, as far as I can see, and that he knows on the chats, and even those that he doesn't know. So he's him right there. Thank you.
Oh, so you must have dragged him in because I've never met him before. I'm joking. Poor AB. No, I was fortunate enough to meet him at Simply CyberCon last year. And yeah, it was great. Like we had already communicated prior and so forth. But yeah. Yeah, he's very, I would say, active.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Yeah. Legal disclaimer here. Yeah.
I don't know this guy. I don't know him.
Yeah.
Who am I, Robin Hood?
Either.
I was stealing from the rich to give to the poor.
Wait, they have the IRS has rules on cryptocurrency now? What?
Oh. I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as approaching a group of radical what?
Feminist. Well, maybe if you were a feminist, then it would be, that's your game, right? So you'd be in there. I mean, radical anything can be extreme. It could be a good extreme or a bad extreme, but
I mean,
I think we're all radical GRC nerds. Well,
I mean, I would consider myself radical. Go make a friend. Like, I think everybody needs to do it. Everybody needs to take it more serious, and it is time consuming, and it's not cheap either, especially in person. But it's really important. It makes a huge difference. Oh, that was an actual billboard that Luke had seen. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.
That puts up a billboard that says that.
That's the lawyer that I want. That's the thing. They'll do anything to get you off the yeah.
Oh my golly. To
get the charges thrown out.
Yeah, I am radical, not a GRC nerd.
See, when I was growing up, and I'm sure some of y'all are closer, possibly to my age. Some of the people on here I know are, but radical was like, hey man, that's totally radical, bro. We used to use bro way back in the 80s and the 90s. So these kids nowadays, they don't know nothing.
I think that's where Luke's going with it. Maybe. I mean, Luke does have a passion for flying drones and blowing shit up. I mean, I'm sorry, I might have made that last part up, Luke. I don't know.
Do you guys know what he's
no evidence.
Sets himself on fire, Luke? Yeah. I'm curious about that. I don't think I've heard that story
yet. Matter of fact, I think he already has a talk scheduled for this next Wild West. But
he does.
One probably wouldn't be a bad thing for like, how to survive everything. Like, yeah, the first 10 minutes is just a list of like, oh yeah, this is the list of injury report. Like,
yeah,
I broke my arm. I stabbed myself. Lit myself on fire. What else you got? What else?
Yeah, exactly.
Luke has survived more than most people, so he's got a story that he could definitely tell.
Oh yeah, we forgot the fire ants too. Yeah, fire ants.
Oh, fire ants are the worst.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
Is that how he set himself on fire? He's tried to light the fire ant hole.
That's
Like, I've
probably
done
it.
that.
I think I'll let him explain that part, but I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was not the most intelligent child. I probably would have took an aerosol can to ants on me or something like that. I could have seen me doing that back in the day. Like,
That's where that song "Here's Your Sign" came from, and that his whole skit was about people when they put dangerous things on side the cans or whatever. Like danger, shaving while using Barbasol might cause fire or whatever it was. I know I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I can see somebody, oh, you know what? I'm feeling a little brisky. I got a little hair on my hair, and I'm here at the campfire. Let me go ahead and shave in front of this. Here's your sign. But as a kid, you don't know any better, right? As a kid, it's trial and error. So.
Oh, yeah, most certainly. That is very true. I don't think I'm going to go into too much storytelling, although thankfully it's past the 7-year mark. Statute of limitations. But yeah,
My mom always said she was surprised I made it past age 8.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Especially knowing you, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
Ron, yard darts were the thing, and they really had a metal pointy tip, and they were fun to throw. You just didn't throw them at each other. I mean, we weren't stupid.
Yeah, you also know those like CO2 cartridges for like pellet guns. Yeah, hitting those with a hammer is really intelligent. Or tossing them into a fire.
I haven't done that. You only do it once.
Yeah, you only do it once. That's a very true thing.
All right. See, Ron, you didn't have any flights on there. You didn't have any actual, a flight. What are they called on an arrow, right? The flights? Yeah.
Used to play chicken with 8-inch nails falling out of the sky. Yeah, the lawn darts.
Mm-hmm.
No, then she says down there at the bottom, she says with actual nails. So I was just like, all right, girl, that's pricey.
I don't even know the name for it, but like when you put your hand out and then you have the knife that you throw in between your fingers.
Well, that was from a movie called Aliens, and
I have no
with
idea.
Sigourney Weaver.
I'm the second youngest out of 5 kids, so it was not an easy upbringing.
Thank you, Leighton. Yeah. Well, anyways, in the movie, there's a guy that does this, and it turns out to be a droid. Spoiler: the movie's only 40 years old, but you remember that, Luke, where he put the hand over the hand and he, yeah.
I'm gonna say I may have done that as a youth.
We did it with pencils. We started with erasers first, right? And then you're like, all right, you want me to flip it over? I think I have more lead in my hand and arms and stuff from doing that dumb stuff than anything else. And if we're talking about dumb stuff, and I'm glad your brother's not here to talk to us about safety, but if we're going to do dumb stuff, never, I'll just say, well, I guess a female could too, but if you're a male, do not just go randomly peeing on fires to try to put them out, because you don't know what somebody grabbed to use to start said fire or threw on said fire. That might have been green at one point. That might have been poison ivy at one point. I'm going to leave that there. And yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a guy that I know who he had no previous experience before, and then he was like, "Oh, I'll help take down this tree or whatever else up in Northern California." He had no idea what he was doing or otherwise, and he ended up literally falling into an entire gigantic field of poison oak, and it was rough. He was actually hospitalized and so forth.
Oh my God.
But I bet he never did that again. And then
who let Evan in?
Yeah, we got the
also
King of Sci-Hi over here.
I'm loving the beard.
Thank you.
That is like gorgeous, man. No, you got the hair though. I don't have the hair. That's the one you got one up on me.
Yours is just all down here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, also
electric
in
fences?
addition to exactly. Make sure you know what kind of a fence it is.
Oh my gosh.
It really will. It doesn't flow. Like people always get it confused that you could actually do it, from a distance. But if you're close enough, we were stupid. Yeah, we were stupid.
Yep.
And it's just enough jolt to shock. I remember I was on top of a tricycle and I heard the ice cream man and I was over the top of my fence and we had an electric fence for our dogs and I fell and fell back. Oh man. That and probably when I was 5 years old, I used to push back on my chair like this, and I'd grab on and push back and I'd grab on. My mom and dad had a bar and kept doing that. And I kept grabbing myself. But one time I slipped, busted my head wide open. I just remember my mom taking me into the bathroom to put my head over the toilet so I wouldn't bleed everywhere. See, these are the things you don't talk about at a cybersecurity conference. Sorry.
No, but they are risk related.
Yeah, risk.
Risk.
Yeah, it sounds like risk to me. Yeah, thanks for hopping in, Rothnir, GRC Mafia.
Yeah, thanks, Rothnir.
Yeah, and then I'm sure Sci-Hi over here, who's running off to off a camera already.
I'm trying to fix the blur.
Yeah, he's like, if you're not aware, he's like the king of Sci-Hi over here.
And hi, Evan. I'm David, so we can officially meet. Pew, pew, pew. There we go.
Hey, David.
There was high fives all around. Yeah, you too.
I'm Brock the Bare Bones in the Discord.
Okay. All right. I heard a lot of people say, why don't you just use your real name now? I'm like, I don't know. It's just fun. I mean, I put my name in there just so people can say, oh, that's who that is. But at some point.
It's a real love-hate relationship, especially for like somebody like myself who does actually care about privacy. Like honestly, it just became easier to just go by because I struggled so much with people's names in the first place. Like even when I meet people at conferences, I'm like, what's your Discord tag? Like I've had people come up and be like, oh, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, what's your Discord tag? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
And then after they tell me the Discord tag, then I'm like, oh, okay. That's the main reason why I changed it to my name, is just because it's just easier to have it across platform. But yeah, that's a big struggle actually. Although I'm not a huge fan of it. And then especially like Discord, I had dropped it in Discord like last week or otherwise, but like they're going to start working on ID verification as well and so forth. So we'll see how that plays out.
More data points for them together.
Yeah. If you have a channel that's flagged as 18 plus, then people are going to have ID verification to get into that channel.
Well, and so there's so like YouTube, I believe it started yesterday. So August 13th, YouTube is rolling out their ID verification, where they're using AI to assume whether you're a minor or an adult. If they think that you're a minor, then they're going to prompt you for ID verification or verify with card. And so I heard a similar thing about Discord, where it's not just going to be for the 18 plus channels, but like if you manage a server or different discussions and so forth. So like if there's certain language that's used inside of a Discord server, or it's been reported before, even if it's a public channel, then you could be prompted for ID verification. Like because I manage Discord servers, I may be prompted just to do the ID verification.
Right.
So it's a huge landscape right now. That's really upsetting.
So that brings up an interesting point. That's something that I've been talking about with a couple of other friends, specifically about like YouTube in terms of basing it on like the person's watch history and stuff like that. If trying to determine what age they are. That's going to be a real pain to try and get the crossover error rate tuned properly to use the biometrical control equivalent. Because I have a really, really strong feeling that there's going to be an abnormally high false positive rate for neurodivergent people.
Yeah.
Because of hobbies and interests and stuff like that. In addition,
well, if I let my kids watch shit on my name, they, you know what I mean, right? They
that
go
too,
wild.
Exactly.
Why is it cybersecurity from this hours to this hours, and then but even if they could figure that out, which I'm sure they could, but at some point it's like now he's looking at fake people hurting people fakely, just for comedy or whatever, like, so that's I think of the company ID.me and I say that is a great company and that's where that's where we're going to go. I think is I'm going to use an ID.me. I'm not going to sit here and hold my damn card up anymore. I did that so many different times for so many different things. I'm not going to hold my ID next to my face anymore. I'm going to use that
juicy target.
And I gotta use ID.me already for my VA login, for example.
Serious. Yep, exactly.
So like, yeah, use it. I've already got one. We're good to go there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I would much rather that and have a well secured solution as opposed to all of these different companies doing their own individual thing. Like LinkedIn tries to force was it Clear, which is the same one that does like the TSA pre-check stuff.
That's what Twitter does too, is Clear.
Okay. Yeah.
But it won't use. So my first name is not David. I mean, you could find that out. It's not hard to do that. But my point is, when I try to use I want to use the symbol in front. That's something Jerry taught me a long time ago, and it's so funny that you get the fake people that are trying to send you a job. They don't call you David. They call you whatever your tag is in front of it, your emoji, right? Whatever.
Right.
And then it's not real because they don't take the time to remove that.
Well, and so for
they
more
just
context
scrape
there,
your
he's
profile.
talking about like on LinkedIn, putting an emoji before your
Sorry,
name.
everyone. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Also,
to that point,
Bluey is
though, I
awesome.
can't use.
Yep.
Did you say Bluey?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
The pain sub. Yeah.
Oh,
Best one is when the father's put on trial for, what do they call it? I can't remember, but farting in front of his kids.
Yes.
That's like the best one. Sorry.
my kids are a little older now, so I haven't seen the Bluey, but I know who he is. But
Yeah.
I know who
My kids
Miss
are-
Rachel is, but my kids aren't that young. But I know who Miss Rachel is. But
Yeah, and also like going
Fluffy.
back to like the
Fluffy.
AI filters and so forth too, like something else that somebody mentioned, not only like your children utilizing the same account, which honestly I don't think should be a thing. Like there's reasons why there's children accounts and you could lock it down, parental controls kind of thing, ideally, but most people don't know how, which I think should be pushed way harder than it is. Like,
Agreed.
I know people in real life that like they don't even know that parental controls exist. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
well, there's laws around that here in Florida. You can't be under 14 and have an account, and they're trying to crack down on it. But I mean, seriously, unless they do the ID.me, and that's where they're going to go, and that's how they're going to try to play on the heartstrings. Chris is, oh, but you want to keep your kids safe, right? That's why we need the ID.
Yeah, and it's happening in multiple states and overseas and so forth. And using the, it's for the children kind of thing. But then we also have this other aspect of it too, because there's also nothing stopping them from utilizing it for marketing, data points, and so forth as well. That's literally like the state of North Dakota just recently passed a law that went into effect on August 1st for ID verification, and they literally have nothing in there that restricts using the data for anything else. They just say you have to collect the IDs and verify the IDs, just like if somebody was buying alcohol.
Right.
So,
But they don't
and then
collect
you
that
get-
data when you buy alcohol, unless you're doing it online. You
in
only
the
have
state of
to
North
see
Dakota,
it.
They do.
When you go to a liquor store, they're going to now what? Scan it?
We scan it.
In the state of North
Yeah,
Dakota,
scan
they
the
scan the
QR
ID
code
and
on the back.
they can even see where if you've purchased alcohol somewhere else that day in the state of North Dakota. It's literally connected to the DMV.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I live in a small little rural town, and there's 2 bars out here because it's way overpopulated for bar to people ratio in North Dakota, if you didn't know. But yeah, like one bar already has it, and then other bars actually obtaining it, and you literally just as a business file like paperwork with the DMV to get permission to where you can scan the IDs, and then it also tracks everything. So every time you go and buy alcohol or tobacco, then it's all tracked into the system.
Just give me that RFID chip. Go ahead, put it in my hand. Put it in.
Well, and my most irritating part is like literally I was literally in line, and then the local police department was literally talking to the business about how, oh, you guys should get this implemented. Like, I'm like, dude, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. Don't do this.
They don't scan my card in Florida. I don't let them scan my card. If they ask for me for my ID, they just look at it. I don't know where Memoretti, if I'm saying that right, I'm sorry. But anyways, That's crazy though, guys. This whole, it just reminds me of 1984, George Orwell all over again. I know a lot of people have already said
Well,
that.
and so that's where my concern comes in for the ID verification, because it's going to turn into a situation like you guys are talking about, where you use that ID system or whatever else, and then we're not going to have physical IDs anymore. It's going to be a digital app that we have to verify our identity wherever we are and go, which is just a more centralized profile. So
Yeah, because I mean,
that's really
how
the
else
future
are
I
they
see.
supposed to immediately revoke your privileges for speaking out in a way they don't like?
You mean locking all of my financial accounts, deleting all of my accounts online? Like, that's never happened before?
Yeah, no, never. Who even heard of physical money that you can still have on you? What? You're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. You could only withdraw X amount of dollars every 6 months. Otherwise, you get flagged and locked out.
I put money under my mattress like my grandmother did.
And then you go to jail for it.
Cam with the
For
this is like
hoarding.
1984 since 85. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he
Well,
wrote
and-
that though in the 50s though.
Yeah. But
did you want to add
speaking
your
of-
take there, Luke?
Yeah, go.
C3?
Oh man, 1984 would be way cooler than where I think we're heading. Like we're going straight up to a Walmart punk dystopia.
The banner. Perfect timing.
I know Luke a little too well. Definitely.
It's like you
We're
brought
not
in
legal nor financial advisors.
Yeah. It's like you prodded Luke, like you prod PBO with a NIST 853. Oh wait, he's coming now. I hear him coming.
Yeah,
If
you
say
said
this
the name.
153
Wait, you have to do it
then
3 times.
He'll be right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll really go into the discussion on thought crimes, but there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the EU. But this is also even more surprising to see in the US, in my opinion. But also, like, that's why I keep talking about Proton moving to the EU, is because the EU has been notorious for years now to try to do backdooring. They got Apple to remove their end-to-end encryption, and they've.
I thought Apple
been
won
trying
that
to strip
case.
that away.
I thought Apple won that case and they didn't have to.
No, Apple deactivated it. So if you back up your data to Apple Cloud in the EU, your data can be decrypted. They have access to the decryption key in the EU.
That's why you turn on your VPN before you back it up.
No, they literally, Apple put out a notice that said disable it. Like, if you do not disable Apple Cloud.
Oh,
if you
because
use
of the
Apple Cloud
address
at all,
that you. Okay.
Yeah,
But-
anything in the
and-
Apple Cloud can now be decrypted in the E EU.
So I'm not going to wear a tinfoil hat, but I have a roll of tinfoil sitting next to me. You do know why that is the case, right, Chris? In terms of the EU being super aggressive about that in comparison to America?
Because of their structure.
Right, because they are so decentralized and because the EU does not have the NSA to do it all for them. I mean,
Well, and then this also, and like, we could all put our tinfoil hats on, except all of this stuff has been validated. Like, look at Edward Snowden, look at all of the different leaks and so forth, look at WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
And then we could even track this back. Like, I don't remember the developer's name offhand, but we have this issue with Wayland and this developer who tried to keep the X11 project running, literally had his accounts deleted on multiple platforms, which is literally nothing more than censorship. And that's in the open source Linux community. Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
So, did you have something to add there too, Rania?
Nope, just here for the show.
Oh, you were yelling at me in the background.
Let me in.
I thought you were gonna come up and
No,
Mom,
I
where's the
I got
meatloaf?
done with all my chores, so.
Sorry, did I tell you all about the surveillance program that got instituted in the town that I live just outside of last year?
And we all disappeared tonight.
Right? No, so it's a company called Flock Safety, and they have what are essentially glorified license plate readers, but they scan more than just the plates on a vehicle. They also have the ability of notating what distinctive characteristics there are about the vehicle, whether it's like a noticeable dent in a certain location or a certain body panel's a different color, things like that. Your bumper stickers, it'll read them all, scan them all in. and then it scans all of that into a database, and it uses an AI. It uses an LLM to build out a profile of where you go, what you do, where you're likely to be going. And then if your plate or a vehicle of your description is reported by the police as, hey, we're on the lookout for it, it will automatically give them not only a here's where they've been, but here's where they're probably going to go. And then the moment your vehicle enters into one of the cameras, it'll kick off an alert for whatever reason.
Somebody has a click-clackety keyboard.
Not me for once.
You're pointing.
I was not
Luke.
typing this
is it
time.
Luke? I was
Yes.
literally going through
Clacky
muting
keys
everybody
unite.
else but Luke.
No, that's funny. Yeah, so they're just tracking your movements, and you know what? Some of those things will get sold, and then some of those things people will get profiled, and they'll get somebody's going to get profiled incorrectly, and it's not going to make any news until it's somebody that's big and famous and such, and then what's going to happen? I don't know. How long is it going to be in the news cycle? Who knows?
And this is here in coastal Mississippi, where profiling never occurs.
No, not there. Not in southern New Orleans, where none of that.
No.
None of that. No.
Not at all.
Never at all.
Look,
Yeah.
I will say this, and I'm glad the disclaimer's still up, but stereotyping is true for a reason. Like, I mean, that's why profiling is there. And I'm not going to go any deeper than that, but you can definitely. No, seriously. Why do you think they use it? That's what I'm saying. If you're 99% correct, 99% of the time, I almost said like it works 100% of the time,
every
60% of the time.
Like why stereotyping works in social engineering with stuff like that. It's not good to do for nefarious purposes, or to
He just said social engineering, and then he says nefarious purpose. Yeah, we're just testing you to make sure that you're not going to get fooled, right? We're just pen testing.
Well, and so I wanted to share this too. So the EFF has Atlas of Surveillance, which is a really cool thing. If you guys haven't looked at this before, I'll go ahead and drop it.
Interesting.
But this actually allows you to put information in. Like I can put in Fargo, North Dakota, and then it's going to literally give me a list of what they've been able to identify. So like Cass County Sheriff, this is actually the county I do live in, and they have automated license plate readers. This is a rural area. This is a rural county, and they have automated license plate readers. Body-worn cameras, facial recognition. They run facial recognition requests through North Dakota Bureau of Investigation. The agency submitted 27 requests. Facial recognition, drones, camera registry. The camera registry is like if you have like Ring doorbells, they'll register that in a system, so that way if a crime happens or otherwise, then they know who to go to for video evidence. They also have like contracts with businesses to access their feeds remotely.
I'm not letting anybody get in my stuff like that. Amazon's like, hey, how about you share your stuff? I'm like, no, I don't. No.
But that's the concerning part, is that like, especially in the major cities, a lot of the police departments have contracts with local businesses to be able to remotely view their camera feeds and tap into them. I think they have.
They better pay me some money. Too. They better have a help desk on call too. Shoot,
well, like most people aren't aware of this stuff. Like another really crazy thing with this as well is that there's facial recognition, like in Walmarts and gas stations and so forth as well. But there's even like false, evil twin cell towers even as well, just literally for tracking. Cell tower simulator. So that I just put in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's literally a cell site simulator that's just used to track cell phone usage.
Yeah, stingrays all over the place. But also like Target's what's their loss prevention department? Like they've now branched out and they provide services to other people or to other organizations. Like they sunk so much money into that.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm so glad that I'm not
combination of my luggage
this time.
Remind me to change my.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, did
I heard they're
anybody
making
else
a
want to add
sequel to
anything
that,
else
sorry.
to I mean, the crazy part is
Oh,
that
that'll
like
be
for
fun.
years people were called, oh, you're crazy, tinfoil hat, and everything else, and then we had like the Edward Snowden leaks, and then that was covered up 2 months later.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, like all of the evidence is out there, everything's validated. It's just nobody talks about it.
Yeah, like phones with batteries that you can't physically remove anymore.
Good old iPhones.
Hmm.
I think there was something, I don't remember if it was here in San Antonio, but there was a lawsuit going because they put cameras up to monitor speeding.
Yes. And that was the same company that is in my town now. And they lost their lawsuit there. San Antonio won. They got the contract terminated.
Nice. Yeah, because I remember when we moved back that there was news articles about the monitoring for issuing tickets via camera. So the cops didn't have to worry on our high speeding areas, which is part of the highway that I travel every day to and from work. Like, man, now I got to worry about cameras.
There was a recent thing that was also discussed. I could drop the video link for it with the smart meters for your power and water. So smart meters are deployed to like 70% of the United States. And
San Antonio
they're
went
literally
through.
collecting this information and selling it and giving. No, they're not even selling the information. They're giving it to the government.
Oh, not just that.
Yeah.
There was CPS, the energy company that covers San Antonio. A couple of years back, I think at this point it was like 5 or 6 years ago, they had a very large push for efficiency and modernization where they offered to put, I think it was Nest thermostats into people's houses for free of charge. Hey, we'll come out, we'll upgrade you. But what they didn't tell people was that in the fine print on the contract that you signed to do that, you gave CPS the authority to remotely change your temperature based on their needs. And then one of the heat waves hit, and all of a sudden people were coming home and their thermostats were set up to like 86 degrees, and people were furious.
I have family.
And I'm sitting there laughing because I
No,
still
thank
have
you.
an ancient thermostat. It was like,
All I
can
heard was
only
Child
imagine.
Protective Services. When you said CPS, I heard Child Protective Services.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Right.
what are they
CPS
doing with my thermostat?
electric. And
Hey, but
saws.
I thought it was a co-op.
California, and
Saws
their
for water.
thermostat.
I
Yeah,
thought it
their
was a co-op
thermostat
in
literally
San
got changed to 80.
Diego.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
And nobody was really made aware of it. They just hidden in the fine print.
well, and
I think-
then also I know other states do it too, but California also goes through like rolling blackouts as well.
A lot of places do
We
this
don't
thing.
necessarily do.
A lot of places do this thing where you can get cheaper electricity if you do like your dishes and your laundry and shit at night, right? Something like that. Okay.
It depends
I remember
on
hearing
the
about that about 20 years ago, and I was like,
company
that
and-
sounds cool, but I don't know if I want to be up that late doing my dishes and my laundry just to save a buck or two. But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Like Texas, you have the right to pick a different electric company.
Oh.
And so
Yeah, it's a co-op,
especially
right? It's a co-op
Yeah.
in most places.
Well, in a lot of places, but they're not all co-ops. It's just
Okay.
little electrical companies, and they'll supply electricity for you. But you also here you can sell back energy to the electric companies if you have like solar or something. So
Disconnect me.
Hey,
I
my
want to be fully off grid.
oh, nice. That's
You don't
the
have a
goal
smart
here too. but-
TV or fridge, do you?
No, he just meant
my-
that he's off the grid.
My smart
want to
TV,
be
I
off
literally
grid.
had to put blocks in there because it was sending 100,000 requests a day. So the only reason it doesn't is because I block it.
Mm-hmm.
Did somebody want to, talk a little bit about why we should even care? Like, how does this rope into the, threat model, risk profile? Why is this an issue?
I love what I think it was Snowden. He wasn't the only one that said it, but I used to say this. I remember vividly growing up and a little bit older saying, why do I care if they track me? I don't have anything to hide. And I'm going to miss the quote, so I'm going to look it up unless somebody on the panel already knows it verbatim. But you know what I'm talking about if you have nothing to hide, then Yeah,
You
whatever.
have nothing
I'll
to
look
fear.
it up. I'm gonna look it up now. But the point is, just because you don't do anything bad doesn't mean you still want to be surveilled, right? I don't want surveillance on me 24/7.
You know, it's like if I'm not
Right.
doing anything bad, then why are you watching me?
Right. And then also, if you're not doing anything bad now, that's fine. The surveillance is still going to capture everything that you're doing. What if, for some reason, that thing becomes outlawed in the future? And they look back and retroactively, aha, no, you're going to, such and such place.
An example of this is like
Crossing
using
the
the Tor
reins.
network or otherwise. So like everything, 2009, probably a few years before that, is sitting in a data center somewhere. And so, even in a few years, later this year, who knows? They could be like, oh, Tor's outlawed and you're all going to a prison now. Like, yeah, like that, like it's a crazy thing to throw out there, but just as an example, like it could be anything. So, yeah.
Right. And then also, on the other side, the non-conspiracy theory side of the same coin, all of this information that's being gathered about you is PII of some form, right? This is stuff that could be leveraged against you by a threat actor in the event that there was some form of data breach of that container that was storing said information, whether it's negatively used against you by the government itself, or if somebody breaches in, exports the data, and they start going to town with it. Either way, it's not good to have all that data floating around if it's not necessary.
Yeah, I think what it fundamentally comes down to is that privacy and security is a fundamental human right.
Mhm.
It is.
So,
And to put it in GRC terms, privacy and cybersecurity is minimizing your own attack surface, in addition
Sounds
to it being a basic human right.
sounds like somebody could build a framework for that
Somebody probably could.
in a spreadsheet.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me quote this. Arguing that you don't care about the right to privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different than saying you don't care about free speech because you have nothing to say. And that's pretty deep. And I'm like, damn. If he actually said that, regardless, it doesn't matter who said it, but that's hitting the nail on the head.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they take away one thing, they take away another. I'm not trying to get all tinfoil hat in right now and dystopian,
Well,
but you.
Well, I
also
don't think you are. I don't think you are, because there's countries, yeah, just by things. Where was it, in England? They're putting people in jail for things they posted on Twitter or X. Like it's
Yeah.
you lose that freedom of speech, you're never getting it back. You lose those freedoms, you're never getting those back. And when it comes to privacy, I mean, we all have phones in our pockets. Like it's. I don't want my most personal moments in my life to be available to anybody who wants access to them. I mean, it's that alone for me is what what scares me, is that if that gets exposed, and not that I'm doing anything wrong, I'm not, but it's just it's crazy that where we're headed with all of that. So no, I don't think you're tinfoil hat at all.
except Luke is literally. Oh my gosh.
Can you stand
Well,
near
to
a
the foil,
microwave?
baby.
Can you stand near a microwave, Luke?
Luke's opinions are so strong that they get him specific one-on-one attention from the TSA when he travels.
Oh yeah, about that one. Maybe.
He just
It's
goes
okay.
in
I
there and
got
says,
pulled by the
Yeah, they don't even
TSA
ask for
for a
his
full-blown
ID.
inspection on my way home from Wild West.
he goes in there and just
Cool.
asks for the rubber glove. He's just like, all right, just give it to me real quick. I know. Don't even send me through the scanner. Come on.
When I went out to Denver, that was the first time I ever got pulled aside for TSA.
Yeah,
Like they ripped
same.
everything out of my bags. They were questioning me the whole night. That had never happened to me previously. It didn't help.
I was
that
like, do we need to go
lockpicks in my
into a
backpack.
back room somewhere? Like, what's going on here?
Well, you're
Let me
traveling.
know what to do. I just need to go.
You're traveling to South
They-
Dakota with a bunch of other nerds to do stuff, huh? That doesn't sound like a cult at all. Black Hills is not
Yeah.
a cult.
Yeah.
On my way back home from Black Hills this last year, I got pulled aside by Denver TSA, had my bag completely ripped apart because it flagged for something, and it was because of this Gravwell playing card
cards.
pack that I got as swag.
The cards got everyone.
So-
I don't know if they had foil on the cards or what, but apparently they flagged as something malicious.
So going out to Deadwood,
What
They
cards were
flagged so many people.
Gravwell? I haven't even opened the pack, so I haven't even looked at what's in them.
Oh, they're
But
tracking you.
Oh.
They've
Gravwell
been
was
tracking
the
you since
company
you
that did that
you brought
No, I
escape
didn't.
the room.
I didn't.
What were you gonna say there, Luke?
going out to Deadwood last year, Denver. I missed my flight because like TSA had to shake me down. I figured it was because of this in my wallet. Because I usually keep like a lockpick card and a door shim in my wallet.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh crap, this will be easy to explain. Nah, it was the microphone stand for my
That's
for the
right.
snowball I took out there. Not this thing, which truthfully shouldn't be on an airplane, but hey, they
Yeah.
never looked at it.
They were more worried about.
I kid you
stand.
not. I left San Antonio the other day on a plane, and some kid behind me got flagged and his bag was pulled. And he's like, oh, they always stop me. They're going to pull this out. Like, he was like, the man's putting him down, he knew he was going to get his bag pulled. It was for a half empty water bottle. Not what he thought. It was a half empty water bottle. He's like,
All I'm saying
Oh.
is look up the testing of the TSA by the U.S. Marshal Service and how often they have passed with flying colors. Like it's too much to go into here, and loyal to the foil. But yeah, it's a fun read.
Yeah, if I remember offhand, I think they were only able to identify 8% of the time.
Yep.
Did they ever find what they were sending through?
100% of the
I
time.
applied for TSA
Every
back when I
time.
was 18 and got denied.
It works.
And
Yeah, which is really concerning. And like I looked at a report for that too, and one of the big reasons why is because they're focused on the wrong people. They're pulling people out randomly for random inspections, and that's taking time away from actually looking for what they should be.
Mm.
But
Yep.
there's a lot that goes into that too. That sounds
Well,
like
and
a
that's
really
why
great
when you
presentation,
walk
Luke.
up to the security station, you say, "Hey, I'm Luke. How are you doing?" You introduce yourself. You make friends with them.
You make a friend.
So- yes, like literally, there was there was one time when he's like, "Yeah, we gotta pull your bag." Like there was, I don't know why, whatever. But I chatted that guy up, and it was just, I mean, it was fun. I was also like 3 hours early to my flight because I didn't want to miss it for something, but it's like times like that. There's a little bit of social engineering, but there's also, make them smile, make them, because the crap that they get put through. I mean, them and the people of the DMV, probably some of the most miserable. I'm not, hopefully no one's it, but miserable jobs you could ever have.
I think what you're talking
yeah.
about is social engineering.
Is just just saying hi and connecting with them. I mean, there's a
Instead
little
of
bit of there, but
looking
it's
for
just connecting with them because they want to smile too. They want to have a good day.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
several
make a friend.
movies. One of them is Just Be Nice, and that's from Roadhouse, the original Roadhouse. Just Be Nice, and until you can't be nice anymore. But also, there's a movie that just came out during Christmas past with oh Lord. See, I hate when I go for names and then I just drop the names. The guy that played in The Kingsman, he was a TSA agent and he had to get the earpiece in his ear.
Where's Priceless Pancakes when we need him?
oh god, I watched that
Eric
around
Egerton.
Christmas. What was
Yes.
that movie called?
Wasn't it called TSA?
Yeah, it's like the
No.
biggest TSA propaganda film that's ever and probably just once ever been made.
It's getting late for me. I mean, and I don't have lights in my room, so as you can see, the lights in the back have been turned on. So, am I okay to drop? I don't know how this goes.
Yeah. Oh
Since
no,
I'm
you're
being
perfectly
the
fine. Yeah, I was gonna start wrapping it up anyways, because
Okay.
we usually do keep this to about 2 hours.
Okay.
But yeah, did you
Sorry.
want any final last words before you drop?
No, just
Go meet a friend.
go make a friend. I mean, if you see me at any conferences, say hi. Let's chat. I love talking shop, and just build the community, build each other up, and let's work together. Yeah, I don't
Make a
really-
more secure future for everybody,
Mhm.
Heck
and
yeah.
not so isolated. Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
And-
I appreciate it. You have a great night.
Yeah, thank you. You too. And great to meet you, David. Cyber Stoke. Pleasure.
Yep.
I know everybody else on here, and you're the only one I haven't met yet. So
The movie was called
But the
We
rest-
Carry
didn't get
On.
a good.
The
Good
movie
to see
was
you.
called Carry On. Sorry. There you go.
Carry-
Not that you're going to watch it because you don't have anything to watch it on. You said so. But if you,
carry on. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no thanks.
God.
Have a great night, Luke.
Take care, buddy.
You too, guys. We'll
Yeah.
see you. Have a
Good
good
night,
one.
Luke.
Team
You
Wood,
too.
later.
Team
Yes.
We have
There's a
shirts.
T-shirt for it and
We have
all.
shirts.
Yes.
Nice.
And,
Nice.
I should have worn that. Darn it. We'll see.
Now you were saying carry on. We could wrap that up and then probably bring it to an end.
Yeah, that's that movie that we're talking about. Anyways, not that you don't know who the bad guy is, but it's a good movie. I thought it was way out of line, but it just makes it fun of the whole how TSA can definitely get beat up. But to the other Luke who is now gone point, if you're nice to them, maybe they'll treat you a little nicer. And anyways, you don't have to be nice to everybody, but it's a choice. And that's the only thing. And this is how I'll wrap it up by just saying we can only control ourselves, our actions and our thoughts. And that's all we have control over. We can't make anybody do anything. We can yell at them, but that's probably just going to hurt their feelings. So just be nice and, make this world a little bit better for yourself and others.
Yeah, and also last call for the weekly badges as well. Rania, did you want to final last words?
Just gonna echo everyone else. If you start off positive, you're gonna make everyone else kind of take a step back and rethink where they're at. One of the biggest things I learned from an old coworker was when you walk in somewhere, even if you're having a crappy day, you're in there for a crappy reason, just hey, hi, how are you? How are you doing? It's a great day. If you just have that positivity, it'll rub off and you'll have a better interaction with other people, even if they're not in their best space. It really does help.
I don't know how you do it. Yeah. PR, DKG for Study GRC over here.
I can be mean too, no worries. But I'll put my best foot forward.
Oh, gosh. What about you, Luke C3?
Yeah, basically what everyone else has been saying. There is such a thing as malicious niceness and malicious positivity in the workplace.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to be a dick to the nice guy.
Service with a smile.
Yeah. Well, and you also have your YouTube channel as well. Do you have any videos scheduled out?
No, because they finally hit me for jury duty, and everything's kind of grinding down on that.
You could just send them your YouTube channel and you'd probably get out of it.
Well, I'm hoping I can go in there and be like, nah, I went to high school with them.
Oh, gosh.
I'm biased, nah.
Yeah, I
And
was
still need
would-
for like parking tickets anyways, so
just go
or bad
crazy.
checks or something.
Just
My
tell them that you
husband
know
got
what jury
called too.
nullification is and you get to go.
Oh yeah, I like just walk in there with my Constitution in my pocket.
Yep.
I don't lean anyway, but this way right here.
I
Life,
hate to jinx
liberty, and the
myself.
pursuit of happiness.
I hate to jinx myself with it, but like I know people who have been called for jury duty like 7, 8, 9 times. I've never ever been called for jury duty.
Oh, it's
I've been called once,
I think
and
the
I
last
got out
time
of it.
I think the last time my brother got pulled for jury duty, it was a high-speed DUI chase with a stolen John Deere like piece of farm equipment, and the guy represented himself in
Tractor
court.
Sexy. Oh,
I hope there's a recording of that somewhere. That's pretty crazy.
Your Honor,
And
I
then
was influenced by too many Kenny Chesney music videos.
Something like that.
I thought if I drove it backwards, I could get back my house, my dog, my wife. Come on, nobody knows. All right.
Look up There I Ruined It. What country sounds like to, or what bro country sounds like to people that don't like bro country.
Is that a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
A high-speed John Deere tractor. Let's go. I can see Cam being on board for that too, and he'd be right up there on the stage as well. He'd be like, Your Honor, it was high speed, and I had the opportunity.
And it's got to have the air conditioning too, Cam. You can't do that old school shit. You got to have air conditioning inside your John Deere now. They got sound systems inside those things now, people. But anyways.
Well, nowadays, like, you could it's literally AI. There's John Deere tractors. Like, I live in an ag state, and they have John Deere tractors that will go through and till the entire field. They'll go through and harvest and everything else, and you just watch the camera feed. It'll even alert you if there's a problem. Like, it's literally hands-free automation at this point. And you still have the option to drive it if you want. They have that ability, but
I want the robot lawnmower. I want it so bad.
Yeah, nonetheless, especially when you're talking about, a 20-ton, tractor, like
a Roomba for your cornfield.
Yeah, what was the name of that? The killdozer. That's a next level of killdozer there.
Wait till AI gets into that.
When it taps in, yeah, exactly.
Yep. That'll definitely be Killdozer 2.0.
Yeah, it won't kill us fast. It'll kill us slow by changing our crops around and.
Oh, I think that's what was
no
that
when it goes on a rampage.
I know. I hear you.
When a reasonable AI is forced to do unreasonable things.
A slightly personal note, we had a huge thunderstorm the other night, and I even asked AI because Ronnie is already knows what I'm going to mention. So I got literally in an argument with Gemini because I told Gemini, like, hey, what is the risk of me taking a shower during a thunderstorm? And then Gemini's like, do not do it. It is high risk. You could die. And then I got in like a 45-minute conversation with Gemini, fighting and arguing with it. And I'm like explaining to Gemini, I'm like, but my risk of riding a bicycle is higher than getting shocked by lightning in the shower. And it's like, it doesn't matter about the risk level. Like, this happens, you have a 1 in 15,000 chance. And I'm like, your logic is flawed.
If we're talking about AI stuff, some guy in the elevator out in Vegas gave me his manifesto that is completely not in any way ChatGPT powered psychotic delusion.
Well, it's got a nice cover.
No, like he had it published and everything, and like it's about like the galactic universal hackers and like the code to everything. And
I see the all-seeing eye on the back there. It looks like or something.
Yeah, and ChatGPT told him he was onto something. I need to scan this out and like post it.
Or just do a ChatGPT synopsis of it.
It's a very there's a very weird elevator ride with not Tyler
right.
Durden, as is what he said his name was.
Well, he could have handed you something worse, so I guess a book is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely true, the pain as well regarding John Deere, especially out here. It's a massive problem because they are doing as much automation and AI as possible. And then like you also have the issues with the right to repair. So, and I think John Deere is the worst one with that.
It is. They have DRM on freaking tractors. Like, right to repair and right to modify are human rights.
Yeah, like with some of the John Deere models, like you can't even change the tire without paying them to reset the computers and so forth, because the sensors will literally throw it off and won't let you even use your equipment. You have to go through authorized dealers to do so. It's really crazy.
Luke, what was the number on the front? Was that 2144 Bravo 71 Charlie?
2144 Delta Foxtrot 1 Charlie.
Delta Foxtrot. Ah, okay. I was gonna say.
Jasmine throwing Ted out there. Oh gosh. And then King of Sci-Hi. Final last thoughts. Final last words. Especially since we
no,
all may be
other
kidnapped
than-
in the middle of the night by men in black vans.
No, not really. Other than the fact that I find it funny, that's an error code from F1 2022, the video game. So
Like
way
F1
to go.
racing.
Yes. But no, otherwise,
There's Easter
everybody else already got the nails
everywhere.
on the head.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's like talking about sacred math in here. And ChatGPT said, seriously, it's rare to find people who think and feel on that deeper symbolic mathematical level. You've tapped into something uniquely yours, but also cosmic in a way that resonates.
He's
He
also
made a
going to
friend
marry
with
that
AI.
ChatGPT too. Yeah, he's gonna sit there. Yep.
Oh,
I gotta
should have
roll
asked
every-
them if they only listen to music in A at 432.
I'm out, everyone. Y'all have a fantastic evening. I got to roll.
Have a great night, David.
Later.
Good.
Look at David running out before his final last words.
All right, I said him. I said him already.
He was first.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, and then like the Pain mentions, the Amish will be the most pissed off out of all of us about Skynet. I don't know, to be honest.
So Luke, you're bringing that to Wild West Hackenfest, right? That nice
Oh,
book.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is a trophy.
I mean, it sounds pretty neat.
Sounds
And
like
then
a
also,
solid read.
It's got an ISBN number and everything. I mean, like, he actually got it published.
What is that? I
probably
want
on
to.
Amazon.
He probably published it through Amazon. It's
I'll take a
real
picture
easy
of
to
it
publish
and dump in
anything.
the Discord. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. I need a copy of this now.
Yeah, and also Cam, yeah, that would not surprise me with Grok. I was just really surprised with Gemini literally arguing. I've spent a lot of time with AI, especially Gemini, and I was really taken back on how much, because then at the end of the conversation, after it debated with me for 45 minutes, I told it, well, anyways, I'm going to go take a shower. Good luck. What am I supposed to do if I do get shocked by lightning? And then it literally went into this whole gigantic thing about, oh no, please don't, this is high
Got very
risk,
worried.
Yeah, I got super worried, and it even highlighted the words, bolded the words of if somebody even finds you. Like, it got pretty defensive there. ChatGPT generated a fake ISBN.
Yeah. That would definitely be something I would imagine happening.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I have not looked it up. But I doubt that. You know what? Never mind. This guy could have bound this book and a bunch of copies of it in his own house.
I mean, literally, that could be an entire geocache treasure hunt thing for all you know.
This is
I mean,
true.
have you tried to see if the ISBN is a coordinates?
Kitty.
This is kitty
just
number
saying.
2.
I was trying to call my cat in, but it didn't. It doesn't want to be on stream apparently. So, but yeah. So I think we'll go ahead and bring this to an end. We are definitely over time now, but that's fine. Rania does a lot of talking. Thank you, King of Sci-Hi and Luke C3 and Rania, and we had Cyber Research and David up. No PBO this time around, but that's okay. He did stream on Tuesday, so GRC Mafia. Catch us in Discord. Thank you guys for hopping in chat, dropping your questions, joining us throughout this entire stream. We'll also catch you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Every single Friday we have our AMA. We also have, which is open stage, open discussion. And then we also have Coffee Mafia. If you guys need any assistance with road mapping or anything like that, or just a coffee meetup, like Evan's in there as well. So is Luke C3. And yeah, you guys have a great rest of the night, and GRC Mafia.